Unleash your inner trickster and goody goblin with Bravely Default's Thief. This job is quite unique among this game's job lineup, as their primary gimmick is to dedicate themselves to taking anything and everything from their opponents, be it their items, health, or even their hearts. But the Thief also has respectable base stats, specializing in outspeeding everyone on the field and dealing fairly powerful attacks with their daggers and bows. Let's start this off by taking a look at the Thief's specialty, Master Thief. This specialty doubles the steal rate of the Thief, allowing them to naturally have a higher steal rate than any other job in the game. This buff applies to every single steal ability in the game, which is especially useful to know for the Thief, as the majority of their moveset is centered around a variety of stealing skills. Next, let's go over the Thief's combat abilities, which are quite interesting if I do say so myself. First up on their combat skill lineup is the Thief's iconic ability, Steal. This combat ability naturally has a 25% chance to steal an item from an opponent, but as mentioned before, as a Thief, that chance is doubled to a 50% chance, meaning having a dedicated Thief on your team actually does have some advantages over having it just as a sub-job. But there are also accessories to help boost the chance of stealing items when not utilizing a Thief main job. The quality of the items that you can steal varies across the game, with most of the useful steals coming from bosses. While there isn't any loot that are dropped from bosses that are exclusive to them, most of the time the items you get from bosses can give you a considerable boost in power earlier than intended. Because of this, ruffling through an enemy's pockets every now and then can be fairly rewarding. Second is another steal-like ability with Life Thief, but instead of stealing items, you can steal an enemy's HP. Life Thief deals the same damage as a regular attack, but has a 75% chance of restoring the user's HP for how much damage they dealt. This ability gives the Thief a pretty strong survival tool, since the amount that you heal is based on your damage output, which the Thief has an above average performance in. I do want to address a small weakness that this ability has real quick though, which is while you will still deal normal damage to undead enemies with this ability, the Thief will actually hurt themselves with the HP drain instead of recovering health, as their targets are already dead. Don't be too trigger happy with this skill around undead enemies for this reason, and you'll be okay. And third up is another steal-centered combat ability with Mug. This skill lets the user attack an enemy and attempt to steal an item from them in the same action. Mug allows the Thief to still provide chip damage to a boss or enemy with one hand while trying to take their hard-earned candy with the other. Mug is also affected by any steal increasing effects like Master Thief or Thief's Gloves, making its success rate quite high. Next is not another steal-focused attack, but a really hard-hitting attack called Godspeed Strike. This skill is a super expensive single-target attack that utilizes the user's speed to deal damage. Due to the Thief's already insane speed stat, which is based on the agility stat, Godspeed Strike's damage output is already significantly high. If that wasn't enough, Godspeed Strike naturally ignores enemy physical defense, increasing its attack power even more. This is the Thief's powerhouse skill, being able to melt enemies and bosses alike, as hitting the damage cap is a cinch for this skill. Though you might have to put in some effort leveling other jobs like the Freelancer or Red Mage if you want to be able to work around this ability's high BP cost. And finally, on the list of the Thief's combat abilities is Shakedown. Once again, we have a steal-based ability, but this time, it steals from every enemy on the field. This allows the Thief to get as many items as they can as quickly as possible. Shakedown still follows the rules of the other steal abilities, with the steal success rate being doubled with certain abilities or items. This combat ability actually has quite a bit of synergy with some of the later Thief support abilities, but we'll talk about that real soon. Speaking of support abilities though, let's go ahead and look at them, starting off with Abate Wind. For one support point, this ability lowers incoming wind damage to its user. Fairly useful when going up against enemies utilizing wind attacks, but that's pretty much it. Second up is the Thief's Speed Up support abilities. There are 3 abilities in this category ranging from 10%, 20%, and 30% up. Using one of these abilities or combining them is a really good way of making the user faster, allowing you to manipulate your team's turn order, which is quite useful when trying to make airtight strategies. Note that, again, speed is based on your agility stat, so these abilities will be increasing your agility. This is important to keep in mind if you're trying to, for example, increase a white mage's speed in order to have them act first in combat to get off a consistent heal for your team. Take note of their base agility compared to the rest of your team to figure out which of these support abilities would be the best fit to give your white mage the best bonus they can. Next up is Raid. When equipped, the support ability will raise all of your character's BP by 1 when you begin combat with either a first strike bonus or a +1 BP bonus. This ability is pretty situational, but is extremely effective when it does activate, giving your team a huge advantage over your opponents. Alright, I don't think it comes as a shock that the Thief has Dagger lore. This support ability, like every other lore ability, gives the user the maximum affinity with that lore. Daggers normally have some interesting bonuses tied to them, like agility buffs or being able to apply stat debuffs to enemies, so adding on the extra damage an S rank would give you on another job is a viable option. Next is Master Thief. This support ability gives the user access to the Thief's specialty, which is really nice when you're utilizing Thief as a sub-job, giving you a better chance at snatching the items you're looking for when stealing. Up next is Rob Blind. Stealing one item from your enemies isn't enough? Well, now you can steal 2 of them. This support ability will nab 2 of whatever item your opponent was carrying. For example, say an orc is holding a beast liver. Instead of just stealing that one beast liver, with Rob Blind you will steal 2 beast livers. This is super useful when wanting to try to make the most out of wringing your enemy's pockets dry. And finally, we have Burgle and Buff. No, not that kind of buff. Actually, kinda. This support ability raises the physical attack of the user every time they successfully steal an item off an enemy or recover HP through Life Thief. This is a surprisingly powerful effect, since the Thief can utilize almost their entire toolkit to proc a damage bonus ability that will make their already above average attack power into something to be feared. Utilizing Shakedown on a group of mobs or bosses basically guarantees the Thief instant access to a full physical attack buff. The synergy this support ability has with the rest of their job's kit is a force to be reckoned with. Starting off with my thoughts of the Thief as a main job, let's talk positives. First thing I want to note is that the Thief's specialty, combat skill, and support skill toolkit works wonderfully together, creating a very clear role for the Thief to play in your team, but it doesn't limit the Thief to just being a steal bot. The Thief has the arm's aptitude and skills to perform well as a dedicated damage dealer, though obviously not as well as other, more power-focused jobs can. Items obtained from stealing are generally not anything too crazy till the later portions of the game, but free items are always super useful to grab hold of. The Thief's high evasion and agility also allows them to generally act first in combat, giving them the ability to get their stealing done immediately, or even sweep enemies away before they get the chance to retaliate. Honestly, if I were to dock points on the Thief for anything, it would be that they get outclassed in base stats by later jobs pretty hard. Performing well with a Thief outside of stealing becomes a much larger commitment than it is for other jobs like the Monk or Ninja. This isn't too big of an issue though, as the Thief performs its intended role, stealing items, the best, so damage output normally isn't its top priority anyways. The Thief as a sub-job is a bit more limiting, but there is still some good here. For one, having access to steal on any other job allows you to still have a chance of getting any desired items from your opponent, even allowing you to bring 4 thieves and rob them en masse. Also, don't forget their powerful attack tools like Life Steal, which is an awesome self-sustain tool, and Godspeed Strike, which, while it won't be as effective outside of Thief, can still output respectable damage. The reason why I say the Thief as a sub-job is more limiting is mostly because your steal rate isn't naturally boosted by Master Thief, meaning you need to either dedicate 3 support slots to that support ability, or an accessory slot for the Thief's gloves. Either way, it takes a bit more commitment to utilize Thief as well as a sub-job, but it can still get the job done. And we've finally made it to the fashion tier list, the best part of the video, so let's start this off with Tiz. This design has quite an interesting look going for it. The first thing I want to note is the grey sleeveless jacket Tiz is rocking, that blends in well with his hair. Paired with the cool patterns adorning the back of the hood, makes this quite the stylish choice for our humble shepherd. The rope belts and baggy jeans are fun as well, giving off an adventurous vibe personally. Really solid design. A tier for you, Tiz. Agnes's design, I'm a bit conflicted on. On one hand, I enjoy the color palette she has going here with the reds and greens, but on the other hand, the actual outfit just seems too... meh? The belt with the skirt doesn't really add anything to the design, and I'm not a big fan of the knee-high boots. There are pros and cons, but ultimately, I think this outfit will land itself somewhere in low C tier. Now, Ring a Bell, in my opinion, is spot on with his thief design. Substituting the hood for long sleeves to let his pompadour shine is a fine trade that keeps the look of the outfit feeling balanced. The baggy jeans and scarf work well here too. I think this outfit honestly deserves a high A tier placement. It's just really solid. And of course, last up is Idia. Changing out the skirt for pants is a plus, along with adding a cool hood. She seems more naturally sneaky than Agnes, and fits the job a bit better. Though, while I can't find the words for it, I feel like there's something off about her design, but I just can't put my finger on what. It just doesn't look right somewhere. I just don't know where. Nevertheless, decent design, and I think it'll go in high C tier.